boy in the corner. It's your boy. It's Kavi's Corner.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Kavi's Corner. Yes, we are in the glow of the post-French Open week. I was a little bit chilled on the tennis front. I did watch a little bit of tennis, but because everything's in Europe in the middle of the night for me, a little bit more of an easy, relaxed tennis week for me. Played a lot of pickleball. Hope that doesn't offend some of you, but it's a good sport. I'm actually really starting to like it a lot. Anyways, welcome to everyone. My name is Kavi. This is Kavi's Corner, where I do a weekly roundup of all things tennis in the ATP and WTA. I'll sometimes get into some challenger stuff, as you may notice today. Also wanted to let you all know, please like this video, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and that way you can be notified as to when all of our videos will be going live. You can join us for live play-by-play streams, for draw previews, draw reactions, Kavi's Corner, other cool content as such. So, might want to put this on silent because I don't want anyone to give me a call. Where is it? We're good. All right, folks. So, what happened in the week of tennis? Well, we had 3 main tournaments. Actually, we had 3 or 4. You know what? We'll get into it right now. Also, real quick before I start, we've got one of my favorites, one of the all-time greats in the history of GTL. He goes by the name of Gary Saint Laurent, aka GSL. Great to have you, Gary. Gary says, Kavi, excuse me, hope you are well. I watched the end of the Struff Tiafoe match. Yeah, we'll be talking about that in a second. It was as exciting as it gets. German crowd was screaming for Struff, but they kept catching themselves enjoying Francis. Yeah, he is fun to watch. Definitely feel a little bit for Jan-Lennard Struff. He yet to win an ATP title, and in one of the tweets you're going to see, he might actually be maybe the best player who hasn't won a title yet on the ATP tour. But yeah, third title for Francis Tiafoe, and also he had a wonderful classic championship match in Houston on clay earlier this year against Thomas Martin Echeverry. So a couple of thrilling finals this year for Francis, which he won. Also, Gary saying Tiafoe really loves when the stadium is jammed with fans. Yeah, you get the feeling that Tiafoe doesn't mind if the fans are against him or for him. He's just happy they're there. He's got the $1 million smile. Adil in the house. Welcome, Adil, saying, hey, Kavi, Seattle's finest. My man, hello, GSL. Hope all is well. All right, folks, so we got a couple in the house. Thank you to everyone who's in here. And we're going to get going with the slides. Here we go, Francis Tiafoe, yes, from @TennisTV. Check it out. Francis Tiafoe saves a match point under some huge duress because, again, Jan-Lennard Struff is a German playing on German soil, but he saves a match point, does Francis Tiafoe, to defeat the German Jan-Lennard Struff 4-6, 7-6, 7-6 for his 3rd ATP title and first on grass. Also, I did mention that Houston title. He won that final 7-6, 7-6 as well. So very tight moments, and he's coming through in the end. So congratulations. #Boss Open. And there you go. The smile, the $1 million smile. Look at, I love his pendant. It says Big Foe right above the Nike swoosh there. Not minding the colors on this. I think the shirt, when they had the kind of all white base, so it looked like home plate, kind of looked weird. I don't mind the maroon so much. Stuttgart champion, there you go. All right, continuing on. Here we go. It's from Jose Morgado. Francis Tiafoe, top 10 player. Yes, for the first time in his career, folks. Huge news. Beats Jan-Lennard Struff 4-6, 7-6, 7-6. As mentioned, to win Stuttgart, saved a match point as well. Incredible final and fantastic match point. Yeah, it was a good one. Will be ranked number 10 tomorrow. Congratulations, buddy. I don't know you, but I am a big fan of yours, Jan-Lennard. Probably the best player on tour without a title at the moment. So if you're wondering, Kavi, you said that earlier. Well, I said it after reading this tweet, and I said it because I think it's also trying to think of anyone else who might be at that level who hasn't won. But yeah, anyways, I'd say that's a pretty accurate statement, at least for what I can think of off the top of my head. More news at GSTN today. So GS Tennis News today. It has been 5,256 days since an African-American male tennis player was last ranked inside the ATP's top 10. With his victory in Stuttgart, Frances Tiafoe will end that drought tomorrow. And there you go. Again, he's got the big smile. I keep talking about that $1 million smile. It's because it's infectious, folks. It is an infectious smile. And another one from Mr. Morgado. 2 U.S. players into the top 10 for the first time in 11 years. Yes. 2012 was the last time that happened. And there you go. You got Fritzy and you got Big Foe arm in arm. There you go. And this is from Miles David. You might have seen him as one of our commentators at Tuned Into Tennis. Miles David says Frances Tiafoe's results since his run to the U.S. Open semifinals last year include, check this out, final in Tokyo, semifinal in Indian Wells, it's a big one, quarterfinals in Stockholm, Paris, Dallas, and Acapulco, becomes a champion at the United Cup pre-Australian Open this year, wins in Houston as I mentioned, and champion yesterday in Stuttgart. So now he has a title on all 3 surfaces, folks. All this year, Hardcourt United Cup. You got Houston, you got your clay, and then the grass Stuttgart. Well done, and welcome to the top 10, Big Foe. There you go. Yeah, let's take a look at this. This is a nice photo. Another one. This is from winning the trophy. It's kind of a funny trophy, but it is a trophy nonetheless. Boss Open. I'm sure our boy Berrettini, who is sponsored by these guys, is wishing that he had a better result. A little bit more on Francis and Jan Leonard. This is from At the Tennis Letter. Francis Tiafoe opens his champagne on court and shares some with Jan Leonard's Struff. Welcome to the top 10, Big Foe. So, you know me, I'm all about sportsmanship, sportspersonship, whatever you want to call it. And I just love when people are comrades. They say, you know what, we had a hell of a battle. We fought each other tooth and nail. And now that it's over, let's have a drink together. Also, there's a pretty funny moment in the it wasn't in the trophy ceremony, but it was in the post-championship match presser. So, on-court interview. So they asked Tiafoe while they were setting up the stage on the court, they did a quick little interview, and he kind of mentioned, he's like, because again, I didn't watch the whole match, but Jan Leonard Struff had a bunch of chances. He double faulted on a couple big points in the tie break. And just a couple of unforced errors. So Tiafoe kind of jokingly mentions that, you know, it looked like he didn't want it and I wasn't taking it. So someone had to win in the end. So it's kind of comical. He's talking about how neither of them really was like, you know, cold-blooded in trying to take the title. And then he's like, okay, I'm going to take it in the end. So anyways, all good humor from both of these guys. And now you're probably wondering, Kavi, who else played? Who else won this weekend? Well, Wimbledon's going to tell us. We have titles. In the Netherlands, Hertogenbosch for Ekaterina Alexandrova and for Griekspoor, Thomas Griekspoor there. So we have, there you go. This is the Libema Open, and there you go, our champions. And we're going to get a little bit more into it. So this was let me just double check something real quick. I want to make sure my notes are correct. So this was everything was 250 last week. 250 in the Boss, 250 on both the men's and women's in the Netherlands, and then there's also a 250 in Nottingham we're going to get into. But what did I say, Taylor? Or what did I call Talon Griekspoor? I said some weird name. Talon Griekspoor. There you go. Wins at home. I'm not sure where that mental brain fart came from, but for the second consecutive year, a Dutchman wins the Libema Open. Thanks to this title, the second on tour for Talon, Griekspoor enters the top 30 for the first time in his career. Congratulations to the Dutch player, taking out Australian Jordan Thompson, 6-7, 7-6, and 6-3 in the final set. And how about on the women's side? Ekaterina is a back-to-back champion. Alexandrova wins the Russian Derby against Veronika Kudermetova and claims the Libema Open title in Hertogenbosch for the second consecutive year, 4th WA title for her. So she is definitely loving the grass over in the Netherlands, and that is not a cannabis reference, folks. I'm talking about the grass that you play on. Ekaterina Alexandrova takes out her Russian compatriot 4-6, 6-4, and a third set tiebreak. So no shortage of drama. Got the Wilson Blade, and she is a champion. I'll never forget how helpful, and she was for to Bianca Andreescu when Bianca hurt her ankle. It was just a few months ago. She was playing Ekaterina Alexandrova, and Alexandrova was super sweet, was super caring, making sure she was fine. So not only a great tennis player, but also a good human. Another one from Wimbledon, champions on the grass. We have Katie Boulter. Yes, she took the 250 in Rothsay. And we have Andy Murray, might recognize him, back-to-back champion on the Challenger Tour. He also played at Rothsay, but it was a Challenger Tour on the men's. On the women's, it was a 250. So beautiful Katie Boulter with a nice smile, rocking her Nike gear. And then you got Andy Murray with his AMC, his own clothing line, holding the trophies, both of them, couple of Brits. Katie Boulter has become the British #1. So congratulations to her. A little bit more on that. Katie Boulter won their match versus Jody. Now, do you guys say Burrage or Barrage? I feel like in England you guys might say Burrage, but here my mind goes to Barrage. But I'm going to go and say Burrage. I think I might have heard people say that. Anyways, Jody Burrage at Rothsay Open 6-3, 6-3. And Jody Burrage now becomes the British #2. Emma Raducanu has dropped to #3. Still a little ways to go to get into the top 50 for all of these players, but good sign, and congratulations to great British women's tennis on this weekend. All right, speaking of the Brits, continuing on with Andy Murray. This is from Genevieve. I follow her on Twitter. She is a massive Andy Murray fan at Jenna19 Newman. Andy Murray re-enters the top 40 for the first time since May 2018, and then she's got the celebration emoji. He's now ranked 38 in the world after 2 stellar weeks of back-to-back titles on grass in Surbiton and Nottingham. Not Notting Hill, Nottingham. Forgive the awful graphic, and yes, the repost from when I mistakenly posted it. Okay, Andy Murray's re-enters the top 40. I like the retro look on this slide here. 38 moves up from number 44. There you go, folks. Arms up like a champion. It's just over 5 years since he was last inside the world's top 40 back in May 2018. Highest ranking since his hip surgery. So great job for Andy Murray, the gentleman, Sir Andy Murray. More on him is from at Jose Morgado. Andy Murray up to number 38 in the ATP ranking, his best in over 5 years. Now, this is why I put this in the slide. Check this out, folks. 1 win at the Queen's Club this week can be enough for him to be seated at Wimbledon. Doesn't guarantee it, but 2 wins would guarantee it. So if Andy Murray can make it into the 3rd round or a 3rd match, we'll have to take a look at the actual event there. It's another challenger, I believe, is it? Anyways, so yeah, 2 wins would make him a guaranteed seed, which would give him a much easier time in the first few rounds over in, or at least the first 2 rounds over in Wimbledon. Also, top 30 in the ATP race to Turin. So he's chipping away. And then also, just in case you were wondering, this was in regards to the actual title match. Andy Murray beats Arthur Cazot 6-4, 6-4 to win a 2nd consecutive challenger on grass, this time in Nottingham. 10 consecutive wins on the surface before going for title #6 at the Queen's Club. Faces Alex de Minaur in round 1 Tuesday, which is tomorrow. So there you go, some info on Sir Andy Murray. Speaking of challengers and players who we are very familiar with, former top players. Nishikori, yes, Kai Nishikori has done it, folks. This is from ATP Challenger. The former world #4 claims the title for his first tournament in 20 months. What is going on? We got Nishikori on his way back. We got Milos Raonic coming back. We got Andy Murray catching fire here on grass. So blast from the past coming up, and there you go, Challenger Tour. Kei Nishikori right there. Rocking the Uniqlo, Palma del Mar in the Caribbean Open. Congratulations to Nishikori. Another one here. Kei Nishikori is the first ever unranked player to win a challenger. Yes, something that has never happened at the ATP level either. I think he said as well, but I think he means either. The last time something similar happened, the biggest one, of course, was when unranked Kim Clijsters won the U.S. Open in 2009 in her second tournament back after 3 years. Man, that honestly might be one of the more impressive title runs on the women's side. To imagine being out for 3 years, playing one tournament, and then winning 7 matches in the most grueling of circumstances. Congratulations. That was from obviously a long time ago, 14 years ago. But congratulations to Kei Nishikori to being the first ever unranked player to win a challenger. That is in the history of all tennis. Speaking of history, folks, we have a fourth active player on the ATP has entered the 600 win club after, here, I'll read it properly. From at Roland Garros, fourth active player to hit 600 wins after Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic, and Andy Murray. And it is, yes, it's one of the sweetest one-hand backhands you'll ever see. It belongs to Richard Gasquet, the Frenchman, at the Boss Open. He took out Stefanos Tsitsipas, and that ended up being his 600th win. So there you go. Over the years, the youngster growing up a little bit, and now that's what he looks like today. Doesn't look much older, and the follow-through, that swing, money, baby. It is money. All right. You know what? Before we get into the rankings, I'm going to go into our chat and see what's going on. All right, I'm going to move up to the top. We got Daz. Big up, Cubby. Welcome, Daz. Good to have you. Adel saying not yet. I think Gary says, has the smile come off your face yet regarding no lay. Not yet. And I just ordered the new No Lay t-shirt by GTL. There you go, folks. If anyone is interested in merch, look right behind me. Yeah, I got that hoodie right there. Oops, where is it? Yeah, there you go. The 22 hoodie. Yeah, that was when Novak won the Australian Open. But now there's a 23 version out because he just won the French Open last week and became the sole owner of the title of most Grand Slams in men's history on the singles. Adel saying cheers to Gary. Michael Walker in the house. I bet again on Frances Tiafoe to win Wimbledon like I did in 2022. Okay. Interesting. I don't think that's a bad pick at all, Michael. I'm gonna keep an eye on that. Last year I said Korda was going to emerge as the top American. Shows what I know. He now has a long way to climb. Happy for Taylor and Francis. I also was thinking that Sebi Korda was going to make a big move this year, but that wrist injury in Australia has really kind of tampered those. Actually, all the guys all the men that I thought could have a pretty good breakout year on the grass. Jack Draper, he's been injured every second day. Sebi Korda has been injured since Australia. Berrettini, I mean, it's not a sexy pick. He's just a big, huge server who's very good on grass. But he's been injured in and out. Who else was there? There's another Yannick Sinner is another guy who actually can do some damage, I think. Who was the other one? There was one other grass court player that I had in mind. Anyways, if it comes up, I'll try and remember. By the way, let's keep going here. If Griekspoor keeps playing like this, he's gonna be Greeks rich. There you go. Instead of Greeks poor. I like that. And I got fantastic odds. Bet 126 to get 13,000. Pretty good odds. Oh my goodness. I hit with a K-blade sometimes. Oh, do you? Nice. I just bought a Selkirk pickleball paddle, so I'm getting real with that, folks. Boulter, but I barely know her. The funniness continues always with our boy Uncle Ghosty. Venus Williams having trouble in my hometown of Birmingham. Yeah, Venus was in Hertogenbosch. She was in, so was Serena watching her elder sister play in the Netherlands last week. Dan Evans, hometown also. Very, very cool. Birmingham, you know who else is from Birmingham? Tommy Shelby from the Peaky Blinders. Yep. Peaky Blinders. Love them. All right, let's see here. GSL saying, Michael, you share a hometown with Ozzy Osbourne and Jeff Lynne. I don't know who Jeff Lynne is, but I do know who Ozzy Osbourne is. My pardons for not knowing. Continuing on, I'm going to try and keep it to tennis. We got Tuz94, my boy in the corner once again. Yes, great to have you, Tuz. Thank you for joining the corner. Michael, I was just going to mention Steve. He's an old favorite of mine. Steve Winwood can sing. I know we're discussing last week, but for Virtova, that's how you believe you say it. Linda version. Blue Svitolina off the court today, 2 and love. Yep. And very, very impressive result there for the youngster. And we got Tarya from Mumbai, our dentist friend, saying, hello, people. Hello, my friend. All right, folks, going to get back into the slides. We're going to get into, what are we going to get into, folks? We're going to get into the current ranking. So today, folks, might be a little bit of a shorter Covey's Corner than normal. Sometimes I think the average has kind of gone up to 40, 45 minutes, sometimes up to an hour, but I think it's probably going to be closer to about half an hour today, just so you guys know, as we didn't have as much action. You know what it's like. It's like a big exhale after a major, right? There was some action, but a lot of the bigger players, not too many of them were in play, but that's going to change this week. All right, folks. So top 10 from at Jose Morgado. The reason I get Jose Morgado on these, because he's the only one who actually writes these down as in the top 10. And I think it looks cleaner than websites most of the time. Okay, anyways. New ATP top 10. Really nothing has changed in the top 9 actually nothing has changed in the top 9. But Francis Tiafoe has jumped from number 12, entering the top 10 for the first time in his career. And this is how it rounds out. Number 1, Novak Djokovic. Number 2, Carlitos Alcaraz. Medvedev 3, Casper Ruud 4, Stefano Tsitsipas 5, Holger Rune 6. Andre Rublev is 7. We got Fritzy number 8, Yannick Sinner 9, and Big Foe jumps into the top 10 for the first time in his career. Congrats to you, my friend. All right, this is the race ranking, so this is not the top 10, but this is the race to get to the finals in Torino. Also, no changes. Novak 1, Medvedev 2, Alcaraz 3, Tsitsipas 4, Holger Rune is number 5, Yannick Sinner number 6, Andre Rublev 7, Casper Ruud rounds out the top 8. Remember, the top 8 make it. So Fritz is the first player who is not qualified, and then some others of note: Hachanov 10, Cam Norrie number 11, Tiafoe's 12, and Leonard Struff number 15 there. So good little run for Jan-Lennard Struff. Jan-Lennard Struff also made it to the finals of the Madrid Open, losing to Alcaraz as well. So he's had some pretty good results. Has the German of late. On the men's side, let's go, baby. Here we go. Did I say men's side? On the women's side, sorry. Here we go. No changes either to the rankings. We've got Iga, number 1 as usual. Sabalenka, number 2. Rybakina, number 3. Garcia, 4. Pagula, number 5. Angeber, 6. Coco Gauff, number 7. Maria Sakkari. I don't know how she keeps staying in the top 10. I have no idea. She seems like she keeps losing the first and second round everywhere, but whatever. Petra Kvitova, she jumped in because she won her Indian Wells title, and rightly so. But she was pretty far away other than that win there. And then we had Beatrice Haddad-Maia, who entered the top 10 for the first time in her career last week. So she, again, no movement. The first movement really was Belinda Bencic moves from 13 to 14, and Veronika Kudermetova does the opposite, 14 to 13. So pretty much, again, like I said, the big exhale after a major. Not everyone is playing. Usually players who lose in the major in the first week are more likely to play. And now we're getting into the race on the women's side. Again, top 8 make it. We have Sabalenka number 1. We have Iga number 2, Rybakina number 3, Pagula 4, Mukova after her phenomenal run to the French Open final, taking it to 3 sets as well against world number 1. She is now in the top 5, or number 5 in the race. Coco Gauff 6, Belinda Bencic number 7, and Barbora Krejcikova is number 8. Fellow countrywoman Petra Kvitova number 9, and only trails by 42 points. So there will be some movement for sure before the end of the year on that front. No doot about it, as Canadians would say. Okay, folks, we're going to now take you to what is going on today, meaning which tournaments are going on this week. All right, folks, so we've got 4 tournaments. We got 2 500s on the men's side. We've got 1 500 on the women's side and 1 250. And this is how they go. We got the Cinch Championships in London, Great Britain. I'm going to go over the seeds for you. So that's something I'm doing new as well on my segment here. I'm going to actually post up and show you guys a little bit of the bracket and the seed, so you have an idea who is where this week. Also, in Germany, in Halle, we have the Tara Wortmann Open, also 500 on the men's side. For the women's, the 500 in Berlin, this Bet1 Open, 500 on the women's side. And we have the Rothsay Classic, whereas last week we had the Rothsay Open, which was in Nottingham. It was a 250. This is the Rothsay Classic. It's in Birmingham, and it's a 250. So in case you were confused, Kavi, I thought you had that last week. It was a different one. And you're probably wondering, so we're going to go in this very order: Cinch, Tara Wortmann, Bet1, and Rothsay Classic. So Cinch, this is how it looks, folks. We have our seeded players. So if in case you're wondering, the top players, where are they this week? On the men's side, we have in London, we have Alcaraz, Runa, Fritz, Tiafoe, Nori, Musetti, Dimanor, and Francisco Cerundolo. So there you go, and we'll take a look. Ben Shelton has already advanced, taking out fellow compatriot JJ Wolf. We had Ryan Peniston takes out Ugo Humbert. So there's a couple of results for you already. Cam Nori has taken out Kecmanovic. Korda, we were just speaking about him, takes out the Brit Dan Evans, and there might actually be a couple more results since I started this this stream here. And in terms of the Tara Wortmann over in Germany, this is our seed list. We have Daniil Medvedev number 1, Tsitsipas 2, Rublev 3, Sinner 4, Hurkacz. It says number 6 there, so I'm not sure why the 5 was taken out, but maybe someone dropped out. So 6 is Hurkacz, 7 is Borna Coric, 8 is Bautista Agut, and number 9 is Alexander Zverev. So it seems to me the more Eastern European players are in Germany, and the more, let's see, how do I put it? The more, I guess, the Brits, the Italians, the Spanish, so the more Central and Western European players seem to be, I'm not sure what the reasoning for that is, but just something I'm noticing. And some results already in Tara Wortmann. We've got Tsitsipas is already advanced after a third set tiebreak. He will face Nicolas Jarry, who took out Corentin Moutet. Canadian Denis Shapovalov takes out Lloyd Harris. He's advanced. And we got Laszlo Djere, took out Oscar Otte, the German, in Germany. So good dub there. And Brandon Nakashima takes out Michael Emer of Sweden. So there you go. Some results from this tournament. Now let's move on to the Bet1 Open. And which women are in, where is it? In Berlin. I was almost at Halle there. So in Berlin. So Arina Sabalenka, she's the top seed. Rybakina is number 2. Garcia 3. Ons number 4. Coco Gauff 5. Sakari 6, Kvitova is number 7, and Daria Kasatkina is number 8. So those are the ranked players. But let's not forget, there are some really good players. Donna Vekic, who is advanced to the next round. We also have Kasatkina, Martic, Yulia Niemeyer. I believe, was it JG said that she'd be top 10 end of the year. We got Vondrousova and Andreescu. That'll be a very good match as well. Sasnovich, Azarenka. So yeah, some pretty good matchups here. Anyone else? Mazarova, Podoroska, and Alexandrova, Samsonova. So yeah, some really good. We got Zhen Qinwen versus Kudermetova. So yeah, so we got some good players to watch, folks, this week in a few 500. And in the 250 level, this is what we have over in Birmingham. We have top seed Barbora Krejcikova, number 2 Ostapenko, 3 Magdalenette, Anastasia Potapova, number 4 Kalinina, number 5 Bernarda Pera, 6. We got Zhang Shuai, number 7, and Sorana Cirstea rounding out the top 8 in Birmingham. And some popcorn matches for you. Oh, actually, so Gary did mention Frovirtova winning 6-2, 6-love versus Alina Svitolina, who had a phenomenal run to the semis of Paris there. And then we got Marie Boskova. Marie Boskova. I remember looking that up. Losing to Bernarda Pera. And then we have Lynette advancing as well over Jasmine Paolini. Kalinina also advancing over Alicia Park. So that is what is going on in the world of tennis and the ATP, folks. All right, Rybakina. Um, Gary saying, okay, Gary, what you have told me and what Rybakina says on the website, I believe, is slightly different. What she says, I think she just says Rybak, or did she say Rybakina? You know what? I'm doing it right in the middle of this. I'm doing it right now, folks, because I have checked this and it is really. Here we go. I'm listening right now. My name is Rybakina. Rybakina. Yeah, Rybakina. So I don't think it's Rybakina, Gary. I think it just says Rybakina. So just check out the website there. You can hear them saying it themselves. Kavi, Jeff Lynne, Electric Light Orchestra. And I'm showing my age because I don't know what Electric Light Orchestra is. I do know what the Symphony of Fire is, and that's we used to have fireworks here. Well, we still have them every summer in Vancouver. It's like a country thing where you do like Wednesday, Saturday, and it's like Canada, Spain, Great Britain, and then all of them combined. And that used to be called the Symphony of Fire, but it was sponsored by Benson and Hedges cigarette company. So they said, nope, Vancouver does not support cigarettes, so we will not support. So they changed it to the Celebration of Light, which is not as much fun, let's be honest. Is the clay court season too long and or too brutal? Lots of players struggling on grass. You know what, Ghost? I honestly just think that the grass season is not long enough. There's just not enough. I mean, there's just not enough time to get used to it. It's like you get off the French Open, and literally like 1 month from the end of the French Open is the end of Wimbledon, or maybe you're halfway through Wimbledon at that point. So you only have 5 full weeks. If you lose early in the first couple tournaments that you're in, you might only get into Wimbledon with 3 matches under your belt or 2 matches. So yeah, I find that it's actually really, really short. Let's see, we got some Duran. Let's see. Electric Light Orchestra. I'm gonna have to look them up. Georgie Williams third set tiebreak. Okay. Anyone know what happened there? I'm obviously unable to check this. Actually, I could check the scores, but we got Sydney Sites only unjabbed player. Okay. Goes to Michael. I know I'm just tossing out some incendiary questions to troll the clay quarters, Kiko. I saw Carlos's pre-tournament presser a few minutes ago. He says he doesn't know how to slide on grass. Yeah, at the beginning of the year, people were asking me, Kavi, what do you think? How's Alcaraz going to do on grass? And I was like, I'm not super confident with him on grass because of the movement. I don't think he's figured out how to move. He's a little bit too fast sometimes, and he doesn't know how to stop or slide. And I notice a guy like Yannick Sinner, and he's very, very good at taking small little steps sideways, laterally, front and back. I think the smaller steps, the more controlled steps are going to be better for the grass. I personally haven't played on grass either, so I can't really chime in too much. But based on what I've seen, Alcaraz hasn't figured out how to move yet on there. And he's only played 6 career matches. I believe he's 4 wins and 2 losses in his entire career on grass. And that's another example of the grass court season being so short. I think he was injured before the grass season last year, Alcaraz. So he had that massive white sleeve covering his whole entire arm. And then, so I think he pulled out of a tournament. He played like 1 exhibition and then went to Wimbledon. So yeah, it's definitely a little bit of it's a short season in my opinion. Be right back. Want to finish? So anyone, let me know who won that one. Daria, Gary, yeah, I think people with good slice shots are better on grass. Also, he said Kyrgios is more better than him on grass to challenge Djokovic. Okay. Michael Walker saying Carlos Alcaraz has a tough first round playing my nephew, my twin Arthur Fils. Yeah, I'm actually really excited. That's going to be tomorrow. I'm excited for that match. Couple of good youngsters. Daria, Kyrgios withdrew from Halle today. Seriously? This guy, is he even going to play Wimbledon? I'm honestly not sure, folks. Daria, Gary, yes, just saw it. I don't wager anymore, but Novak has to be 50-50 against the field minimum. I just don't see anyone, honestly, I don't see anyone. And, I was listening to a tennis podcast yesterday, and it's very interesting. They're talking about, when Roger first came on, they were saying, he had no competition until Nadal came, and so a lot of the titles that he won at the beginning are not valid, which is a stupid argument. And then, but their point of the thing was they're saying, okay, now that like Djokovic is in kind of like the twilight of his career per se, he's obviously still the best player in the world, but age-wise, whatnot. And now they're saying, now that Nadal, Murray, and Roger are out, who's his competition? And I really feel that, especially on grass. Like on clay, I thought, okay, we all know that's not his best surface, although he still is one of the greatest of all time on that surface, no doubt. But they were saying like, okay, who can actually beat this guy? Who can beat this guy in a best of 5? And honestly, on grass, I don't see it. The only thing I could see is if he has a very off day and just loses in the second, third round to some random. But other than that, I really don't see any major roadblock. So let me know what you think, folks. Does Novak has anyone who can legitimately challenge him? Like, does anyone think Alcaraz will have found out how to beat Novak in a best of 5? I seriously doubt that. I would give him a way better chance at the U.S. Open, but on grass, I just don't see it. Kyrgios maybe, but honestly, is Kyrgios? Yeah, he made it to one Wimbledon final, so he was trying for the first time, but he hasn't played anything since the U.S. Open last year. So we don't really know what's going to go on. So I really don't see anyone. But let me know, folks. And hey, check it out, guys. Check out the new Djokovic song here. Yes, Ben has created the 23 song. I checked it out on Instagram. It is a dope track, so please definitely give it a look, folks. Ben's new Djoko song rocks the house. Why would we expect anything else? You're right. You are right, Gary. Thanks, Gary, says GTL. Ben just saying. And we got La Giorgi. Cacciatella via non è buono a giocare solo. I don't know what any of that means. Le sfilate può fare calci in culo. Again, not sure what that means, but thank you very much, Pierluigi Ferrari. Very cool name, by the way, for your comment. Really appreciate it. Oh, speaking of comments and likes and loves, folks, please don't forget to like this video, leave a comment just to engage. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That way you'll be able to know when all of our videos are dropping new. Ghost saying Venus Williams knocks out Georgie 8-6 in the third set tiebreak. It's funny. I picked her. She was a heavy favorite to lose, was Venus. But in my tennis fantasy league thing, I chose Venus because she had the longest odds. And I said, I'm going to double her points because you have to choose 4 players. They give you points. So if the favorite person wins, you get like 120. And if the other person wins, depending on how much the favorite, you get like 300. So Venus was like, she got 500 for winning. Georgia only got 100. And then I said, okay, I'm going to put my double down on Venus. So I think I made a whole bunch of points in fantasy, which really doesn't mean anything because it's not for any money, but it's okay. Venus Williams is 43 years old. That's almost 3 Erica Andreevas, says Ghost. That's pretty funny. Yeah, that's the weak era argument. I think they made some good points, but it's hard to compare generations. Too many variables to account for. I just so you guys saying, I don't agree that the weak era. Like I said, if you win a major, you win a major, you win a major. Boom. It's like you get your name on the cup. It's there forever. No disputes. I don't agree with that. But it was interesting because at the beginning of Novak's career, the conversation was different. And now it's kind of coming back to that because people are always trying to find ways to poke holes in the accomplishments of the players who they're not super like a fan of. Do you know what I mean? I think that's where a lot of this stuff stems from. Again, I don't agree with it, but I was just saying it's a topic that I'm starting to hear a little bit now on because I listen to different podcasts, tennis podcasts throughout the week and stuff like that. So I'm just kind of sharing you what I'm kind of noticing. But yeah, it is kind of hilarious. And I do think it's to poke holes into players that these people who are making these things they don't like, for example. I don't buy weak era nonsense. Roger was freaking awesome. Yeah, you're totally right there, Gary. 100%. Roger was awesome. Agree with you there, Gary. Culo means ass in Italian, sir. You know what? I figured because I know in Spanish it does. However, I don't know what else I said. So hopefully I didn't. Oh, calci. Okay, I didn't know what calci means in culo means. I figured culo meant ass. So there you go. Maybe someone got a butt whooping. Ghost of Girolitis. Yep, maybe. I don't know many Italian words. It's from Serjan Obradovic. Very, very cool. Strong name, Serjan. I really like that. Same first name as Novak's father. All right, folks. Well, I think we're going to call it here. Although I do have one thing left to do. And can you guess what it is, folks? Can you guess what it is? It's actually two things. Player of the week on the WTA side and on the ATP side. Put in your guesses. Let me know who you think was the player of the week. On the ATP side, you got 10 seconds, and then I'm going to hit the button starting now. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
I'm going to make a whole song called Francis. I'm bringing it out soon.
Francis, what you do to me, Tiafoe, Francis, what you do to me, Tiafoe.
Yep, Ghosty got it. Big foe. I think anyone who guessed got it. Actually, it was only Ghosty. Of the last 77 slams, Big 3 165. Oh my heavens. Yeah, they've really made it an unlevel playing field. It's no wonder that the lack of belief in the next generation. I mean, they're sitting there looking at 65. So let's do the math on that. 65. Let's make it round. So 64, okay? 64 Grand Slams is 16 straight years of just 3 players winning. Think about that for a second. 4 Grand Slams in a year. So 60 is 15. 64 would be 16 years. 16 years and 1 Grand Slam. So basically 16.25 years straight where no one else wins. That is so crazy. No wonder this next generation, not the next gen, but the next gen had such a tough time believing that they could win. I mean, look at these guys. Like, look at Tsitsipas. He's what, everything against all those guys in majors. Like has Vera beaten a top 10 player in a major? I think maybe once or twice in his career. I think he beat Alcaraz last year in the French quarters. I mean, these guys just scar tissue, man. Like 0-4, 0-6, 0 this, 0 that, 0 everything combined against the big 3 in majors. It's just too nuts, guys. It's too nuts. He's a king killer. Watch out, Nole. Maryland's finest coming for you, says Tiafoe. All right, folks. Last thing we're going to do before wrapping up. Who do you think was the WTA player of the week? This one's not as easy. I'm going to give you guys another 10 seconds, and then I'm just going to play the button. So let's see if anyone can guess right. You got about 9 more seconds left. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And here is our winner for the week. Congrats.
She be doing it right, you can fault her. She be living her life and you can hard her. You'll be chasing the game, but you ain't caught her. That's right, it's Katie Boulter. It's Katie Boulter.
Close, Ghosty. Alexandrova, Gary, also Ekaterina. Combined, you had one really good name that could very well have been the WTA Player of the Week. However, in the end, I chose Katie Boulter because she overtook Emma Raducanu and has taken over the #1 spot for the Great British Women. Also, Jodie Burrage, or Barrage, again. Also took the number 2 spot. So it was a really, really good day for the British women. A great week for the British women. 3 of them made the semis in that Nottingham tournament. And I just thought that it was a great accomplishment to be number 1 in your country. And I thought that deserved it, although Alexandrova also equally could have had it. Okay, folks, shows what we know. Gary, you know quite a bit, my friend. I am very, very happy to know you and learn from you. By the way, is Vondrousova ever going to win again? She's always a threat. Good question. She has fooled me quite a bit. She's had some really good results on the way to quarters, semis, and then she'll kind of drop out and lose a match that you'll think that she'll win. So, but I think she definitely has it in her to win titles for sure. Jane, hey, Cubby's Corner is back. Whoop. Hey, GSL Ghosty, says Jane. Ghost says you're late, Jane. Yes, unfortunately, Jane, you are a little bit late, but hey, you know what the saying is, better late than never. So you made it before the end. So thank you very much. All right, folks. So that's going to do it for Cubby's Corner this week. It's going to be a little bit. Actually, we ended up going 45 minutes. So I thought we wouldn't have as much content, but we did have a good amount of content. Some good conversations with you guys. And Gary, I'm going to figure out Rebekina. I don't know why. So I think I was saying Rebekina. So thank you again, Gary, for that. And I will continue to make sure I do my best on those. And other than that, folks, thank you to everyone. Like I said earlier, please like the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel. And again, thank you for joining, and stay tuned to the GTL YouTube channel throughout the week. You never know when new stuff is going to be popping up. So definitely stay tuned. But until next time, folks, have a great day, and we'll see you all soon. Kavi out.
It's Cubby's Corner.
Give it a like. I said give it a like. Leave a little comment, share the video, and hit subscribe. That's right.
It's your boy.
Check out this other video.